guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. This video is basically just to show all the different club kits that I got from Spellbinders this month. I have been sick with a sinus cold for the last 2 weeks, ever since I got back from Creativation. So I am so sorry that this is so late and that I am, kind of out of the loop. This first card I'm making is using the clear stamp and die of the month. So super cute, and has this real cute little cross-stitched heart that I'm actually using embossing powder on there. That's not clear for a change. I usually just do clear embossing. This time I pulled out some of my colored embossing powders that I've had for a while, just some red and some blue, and it's going to make for a really cute little card. I did speed this up for all of the stamping because it's really just some easy stamping with clear embossing powder. I used my Misty so that I could get everything lined up the way that I wanted it, and then I did that, like I said, that embossing over that clear ink, and I think that this turned out super cute. So I am going to make some more cards using the rest of the products that I got this month, and I'll show those off. For most of the rest of the video I did talk during recording, so I'll probably repeat some of what I'm saying here now in the rest of it, but like I said, I've just been sick. I'm still not back to 100%. But I'm getting behind and I really need to do some videos so I can try not to be too far behind. As you can tell, I did my typical foam tape on here too. So I'm using the foam tape and my nice little glue press with Barely Arts glue in there to finish up the first card. I think this turned out super sweet. So next we're going to move on to the Glimmer of the month. Okay, let's take a look at these. These are all of the stitches. I'm showing this part because I know how you guys love the reveal. So I went ahead and did all of the different stitch marks, and this is going to create a panel that I can cut apart and use on multiple cards. At least that's the idea right now. So here are all the different stitches that you get in the So Amazing Glimmer set, along with the fun sentiments. We've got You Are So Amazing, Stitched with Love, Happy Stitching, and So Thankful. And then this die works with most of the stitches, most of the sentiments. I'm going to go ahead and cut those out real quick. Okay, this is the better press of the month, and I did go ahead and with all of these I'm playing ahead of time because I don't feel good. Anyway, my sinuses are still lousy, and I know that you guys can hear it, and I am so sorry, but I did want to get this up for you guys so you could see some of the new things and see the fun cards that I'm creating with it. Anyway, this is adorable. We've got cute pair of scissors and a thimble and a card for holding your floss. And I think that is adorable. And I went ahead and did these out of some different colors of inks, and then cut them out with the matching dies. So this piece is actually one of the layering ones. This is one of the registration plates. So yes, this is one of the registration sets. So that is super fun. And when I was doing the scissors, I thought, that would be super pretty using some foil. So I am right now heating up and going ahead and doing some more foiling, doing these guys. This should be pretty much ready, so we'll go ahead and run it through. Ooh, that turned out very pretty. So this is some rose gold foil. I'm using my little magnet thing that I've got from Dollar Tree because the plates are pretty hot. Ooh, that is nice too. So here they are done in foil. Now there is a die to cut out both the scissors and the floss thing. But before I do this side, I do want to go ahead and put some color on it using the second plate. So I'm going to attempt to get everything lined up correctly in my better press so I can get that stamped out. If it doesn't work, that's fine. I really just wanted the scissors. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that. So I'm trying out this. I don't know if this is going to work. This is the first time that I've tried it where I've already pre-cut the piece. So I'm going to use this kind of as a template and going along with the registration piece here. So we've got that down. I've got it taped down, and I've made sure it's where I can put that outline of the die cut onto there. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys are following me. I'm probably not explaining very well right now, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of tape on the panel. Again, making sure that is lined up. Whoops, there we go. Making sure it's lined up. And then I can put my Better Place platen over the top, okay? And then pick up the card. So now the card is in place where I want it. I am going to tape it down in a couple more places just to be on the safe side. And I also need to tape this one down right. I have to tape this in place here. Okay. So this needs to go right in there. So I'm going to tape that on. So it's in place because that's the part that we're going to want to add our ink to, right? There we go. So now that is in place. So now I just need to grab the other plate. This is the plate that has the colored floss on there. And then I just need some ink. So let's see, what ink do I want to use for this one? So this is going to be on rose gold. And I'm thinking, I think I want to do the strawberry. That'll be pretty. I think that'll be cool. So I'll go ahead and add the color on there. And then this is probably, because it is a small one, I'm very likely to move it around more than I want to. And that's okay, because since I know where it's supposed to go, because of that registration panel behind it, I can just take my tweezers and move it back in place. And since I've already got my panel in place, it should, oops, I just realized I've actually got this upside down. So I need to take it back off because I need this part to be facing up. You guys probably caught that before I did. I also don't want to move the other panel around at all, so I'm holding it very steady. Okay. So now we're going to have this facing up. And luckily this with this die, it's fine doing it this way because it is kind of reversible, so that's fine. But I also am going to have to put tape on the back because I don't want to tape over any of the foil, because if I tape over the foil, it's liable to be removed by the tape. We don't want that. So let's just put that back in place. There we go. And now I should be able to run it through. I am going to add a little bit more ink just in case any of this dried, because I don't want to have to try to go through a second time, because with a second time there's always a possibility of something shifting around and we don't really want to do that, right? Okay. So let's run that through our Better Press and see if this worked the way I'm hoping. Now, one thing I did notice is that the lines are a little bit odd right there in the center where the tape is. You're gonna get that if you have extra pressure there, but I'm totally fine with it. Next, we have the faux stitched sentiments and floss, and it cuts out all the pieces for you to have some stitched sentiments. We've got thanks, hello, happy for you. I think these are all super cute. The ones I'm going to use are thanks because I always need more thank you cards. And it also has the dies to be able to cut out some pieces of floss. So I don't know what they're called, but when you buy your floss, the tube things that they're in. So this is the floss, and then we've got different pieces here. And I cut everything out of contrasting. Well, similar colors, but a little bit off. So we've got the pieces to layer up for the floss and for the, for the little wrappers. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of those together. This is really, really simple to put together. So you can see that. And you basically have two. So the strands of the floss are done in 3 pieces. And then we've got some backing pieces and then the top. And I decided to go with black and rose gold. Mostly this is just cardstock I've got in my stash. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble all those. And then we'll have those pieces ready to go on some cards. So I've got all of my cards already put together, but let me go back through all of the products that I've got here first, and then I'll show you how I use them on each of the cards, because I did a lot of combining on these, because yeah, I love combining the things. All of the clubs always worked so well together. So first we've got the embossing folder of the month. This is called Faux Stitched Petal, and it is so pretty, and I will show you on the cards how I use that. Then we've got the die of the month, which is Faux Stitch Sentiments and Floss. So Amazing is the glimmer of the month. Better Press is Stitched for You. We've got Happy Stitching as the clear stamp and die of the month. And then I also got the wax seal, which I did do a few of the little wax seals. And this one is called Cross Stitch My Heart. And it's just adorable. Okay, so for the first card, let's go ahead and look at this. This one is using the embossing folder of the month. I did the same technique that I did a couple of months ago. I had a big video that had a lot of different techniques using an embossing folder. But this one, I just inked up one side of my embossing folder and ran it through. I did the flat side, not the side that with the raised edges, but the flat piece, the one that if you feel it, it feels mostly flat. So I used that. I've got the Better Press of the month, just using the Better Press ink, and the Glimmer of the month for the one of the stitched. I did do all of the stitches, so I've got all of our little stitches here, and on a couple of the cards I did use them. So this is one of the stitches, and then one of the sentiments. It says Stitched with Love. I think that turned out really pretty. This one is the same technique on the glimmer of the on the embossing folder, except all I did is I took the ink that was already on there from this one, sprayed it down with some water, and ran it through again on some white. So you've kind of got a subtle color's not coming through quite enough, so let me just reduce the ISO a little bit so you can see it a little bit better, I think. Okay, I'm going to see what I can do about this. I need the saturation better. You guys need to be able to see those colors. There we go. So I've got the saturation a little bit better, so you can see a little bit of that variation of pink color in the background. Now, it did kind of mess up my red and my yellow because this is not orange. This is red. Okay, but now you can at least see it. So I've got those going on, and I really love that watercolory look. It's not perfect. It is, like I said, a watercolor wash kind of look, but I think that turned out really, really pretty. And then I added one of the wax seals. Now, I was playing with the wax seals mostly because my voice is still not up to par. I was messing around with it, trying a layered wax technique on that. So this is all wax, but I didn't do it perfect, which is why you've got some bits of the gold, and this is gold, not orange, but the gold is kind of seeping around the edges because I didn't get it quite as clean as I'd like. It's going to happen, and I'm going to practice that more before I show you guys how to do it, because it is going to take a little practice. I think I need to narrow down how it works with what heat. So I think that's what I need to do different. But anyway, I think that turned out super lovely. Then there's this one. Now this I think is really, really fun. This one I used a couple of the new, this is a cleanup page, okay? I used some some of the new neon lunar paste. This one is No Chill. And then this one is dirty. It's Mood Ring. So those are a couple of the new ones. I picked those up at Creativation when I did the Simon Curley class. Yeah, I did the Simon Hurley class, so I got a couple of those. And I did a few different panels, just kind of trying them out. I still actually have them over here, including another technique that I will do on another video later. But here it is just on plain white. And one of my cleanup pages, it just had some of that on there. It wasn't covering the whole thing. We had a lot of white space still available. But you know what? What I did, and this is again from one of the classes. Actually, I think this one, I can't remember which class it was. But anyway, this is some Crown Me. So I went over it in Crown Me. And I'm going to change the saturation again because this is purple. There we go. So I went over it with Crown Me, and the paste resisted. So you're going to see a bit of grunginess up in the top part. See that? See that? And then down here, we've got a lot better coverage of those raised pieces where I used that ink. And I think this turned out super, super fun. I am definitely going to be doing that technique again. I used one of the foil stitched pieces and the Hello die from the stitched, the die set, the faux stitched sentiments and floss, and then I did a sentiment from the clear stamp and die of the month. So I did a combination of things on there. I think this one turned out super, super fun. So next, speaking of the clear stamp and die, this was actually the first one that I did, and this I did over a week ago. It's just embossed. I'm heat embossed because I don't really do a lot of colored heat embossing. So I went ahead and did that in some red and blue ink, and I think this turned out super sweet. Then we've got this one, which again has another one of those fun background panels using the embossing folder and that inking technique. And this one you can probably see the water effect I was talking about. So you've got variation of colors. Actually, you kind of have a box there, and that's because that's where the panel was when I did this one. So I think that is really fun. Anyway, so I used that embossing folder and the inks. Again, another one of my wax seals, the thanks die, and then I used the colored. This is the red and black. I did this one using the Better Press and using some Better Press ink. So that one's real pretty. This one has got some of one and some of the other. I kind of mixed them up. Again, the thanks die and the flosses from that faux sentiments and floss, Glimmer Sentiment, and another one of the wax seals. And then this one, I took the waste foil from when I did all of my stitch lines. Took the waste foil and the Solid Essentials, Solid Arch Glimmer Plate to use that that reverse foil, the waste, and then I cut it out using the Essential Arches die. And again, we've got pieces that are from the Better Press, and this is the one where I did that in the hot foil a little earlier in that rose gold that I think is just so lovely. So anyway, that is all of my cards that I've got done so far using the club kits for April 2024. I think they all turned out super, super fun. And I hope you guys got some inspiration from some of this. I know I didn't go too deep into how I did a lot of the things, but again, like I said, I have been sick for 2 weeks and I'm just trying to get a few cards done. After all, I am so thankful for you guys, and I need to send out some thank you cards anyway. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.